Hey, hey, this is Africa. I'm excited to be here with you today. Had another tech question come up. Does my website need to be secure? And can I just go with a big old fat depends and then explain it here in a second? If you want to get more tips like this, if you want to really have someone hold your hand through the technology of starting your business, ramping up your business, understanding this online world, check out Tech for Woo. It's all there. I promise. It's all there. It's all there. It's all there. All right. So, does your website need to be secure? Yes and no. So, I'm going back to that again, right? So, yes, your website needs to be secure if you want to take payment, right? If you're going to take payment of your website, it needs to be secure so people feel secure putting in the information. And so that merchant account providers will allow you to take payment. But what if you say, but I do PayPal, so people actually leave my site to do their payment? Well, that's great. But still, for people to feel secure about even initiating it, they're looking for that little padlock or something that says it's secure in the URL of your site. That's what we've all been trained to do. So the other point of having a secure site, hey, Rose, let me know if you have any tech questions. The other point of having a secure site also is so that you'll be ranked in Google. And so you're probably wondering, what does one have to do with the other? And it's really about this. Google back in 2018, I can't remember when in 2018, initiate this thing where a site had to be secure to be ranked because they looked at sites that at least had that were secure socket layer. That's what they call. That's what SSL is. It stands for secure socket layer. It just means that if there's encryption between what happens on someone's computer when it transmits to your site and back again, right? So your data is secure, right? No one's picking it up just in the airwaves. All right. So Google realized that if sites were secure, had the secure socket layer implemented, they were less likely to be spam websites because in essence it would cost you some kind of money in order to be able to do this, right? So that's usually, I think, especially when you're starting out, it's like, I don't want to spend a bunch of extra money. So that might be one of the reasons that you don't want to go for that secure socket layer. And what I want to tell you is it doesn't necessarily cost you extra to get your site secure. Many host providers, I use Green Geeks, so I love Green Geeks. I love the idea that they use wind power to generate the electricity to run their servers. There's something that just warms my little environmental heart about that. So I use Green Geeks. They have something, and this is true of many other host providers. They have something called Let's Encrypt. That's one of the services, and it's actually a free thing for you, right? It's called, and there's a lot of things called wildcard SSL, meaning it kind of, you get a certificate on your site, but they kind of can change things over time. I'm not going to go into all that. But if you want a dedicated IP type SSL, that will cost you money. You get something like Alpha SSL, and that could be anywhere from $50 to $100 something a year, depending on where you buy it. But you can use the free one. The free one's good enough to get ranked in Google. And at first, I thought that's all the free one was good for. But it turns out the free one's also good enough so that you can run secure transactions through your site, right? And so initially when all this came out, that's why I thought it was only good for Google. And then when I found out more, and it's just like technology, right? It changes all the time. The thing that used to work doesn't work now, or something like this evolves over time to make the internet more accessible to everyone, right? Isn't that awesome? So it's stuff like this that I go through on Tech for Woo, and I do a monthly call that kind of gives you all these updates so you can stay ahead of the game. I think that's really important, as well as learning all the technical stuff so that you can get your technology together, and having someone there to back you up in case you get in kind of over your head and you need to ask a question and you want someone to explain to you in plain English. That is definitely what Tech for Root is for. So just recapping, does your website need to be secure? It needs to be secure if you want to be ranked in Google, if you want to take payment, if you want people to take your website as serious, right? Those are the reasons for it to be secure. Can you still have an insecure website and it be okay? Like instead of the little padlock, it'll probably have like a circle with an eye on it, inside of it. Is that okay? That's perfectly fine. Again, you just won't be ranked in Google, which is fine. Maybe you're not looking for SEO traffic. Many people aren't necessarily looking for that right now, especially if they're a light worker and so they're doing some kind of different modality, or they're a coach or whatever. They're not necessarily looking for SEO ranking. That's not how people find them. But if you're just running the blog off of there, if your call to actions just have people call you, like or set up in your scheduling or something like that, fine, then don't worry about it. But know that it's free, and because, or it's most likely free through your hosting provider, so you might as well do it, right? You might as well take that extra step, send the email. Usually there's some kind of service ticket that you have to work with through your service provider for them to turn it on for you. And that's it. It's not hard at all. And it makes all the difference in you looking legitimate and you being a real business and having a real online presence that can be ranked in Google, because at some point you will actually want it. All right, so with that, I say peace, joy, love to you. Bye.